Hey everybody, it's me, Tomebinder, and in this video I'm going to be checking out Raid in Nanca. Nanca? I'm not sure. I'm going to say Nanca. It just kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit better. Anyway, this map is called Raid in Nanca because there's a city, a shattered city called Nanca, that we're going to be infiltrating and attacking. This map is by Zero, who's also known as Turtle. So let's read the description here. It's one of those maps, or one of those campaigns that's it's two maps put together just to kind of tell the story of a slightly longer battle. The entire story couldn't fit in one custom battle, so we decided to put two parts in one campaign. If you've ever seen my Valley playthrough, it's very similar to that. It's basically just one map, or just a couple of maps, telling the story together. It's not necessarily a full-length narrative campaign, such as Go to the Company. So we're going to read the description here and get started. In the shattered city of Nanca, a single civilian facility has been spared from the wrath of dozens of artillery batteries shelling the city, because of claims of importing only food and other civilian goods for the non-combatants still stuck in the city. I have to admit, that is a very long run-on sentence that kind of broke my brain, but there is a civilian facility that's being spared because it's claiming to only import food and civilian goods. Supposedly, the supposedly few defenders of Nanca seem to never run out of men. Well, that's interesting. Could there be like people coming in from that facility to attack? Well, let's see. We'll read the rest of the description on Steam. And yet, the supposedly few defenders of Nanca never seem to run out of men, making the besiegers suspicious of what is truly going on within the facility. Your job is to make your way through the facility, then make your way out with any evidence you may find. So we're gonna keep an eye out for evidence of secret passages into the city, or even like, I don't know, could this be like cloning? Are we gonna go the cloning route? We'll see. Something's happening that's giving the defenders of Nanca an edge over us, and it's something to do with this facility. We're gonna read the description here. Part 1, the raid. You've landed in the facility, and you're already faced with foes. Show them how weak they and their false king really are. Retrieve any evidence of the purpose of this facility, and crush any who oppose you. So, Nanca is owned by some sort of king. We have to crush the defenders and retrieve evidence about what the facility is actually doing. Seems simple enough. We're going to just attack and gather evidence. This is a large facility. Oh my goodness. Take a look at that load map. Wonder if we're going to use all that space, or if some of that's just there for background, for a set piece. We're about to find out. Whoa. Right off the bat, we're getting some fierce resistance. Whoa. That is a lot of guys. I think we might be going the cloning route here. This looks kind of sci-fi to me. Alright. Got a lot of melee guys rushing me. Hey, guys. Whoa. This is a massive facility, then. Holy cow. Yep, that's a pretty big facility. Let's make sure no one else is coming. I don't think so. Okay, so right off the bat, my main concern is that there's not a ton of direction yet. There's a lot of different areas I could be going. Like, if I walk up to this door, is it going to open with scripting? Let's see. I don't think so. I think we want to go down the stairs, but I just have to check. Yeah, okay. This seems the natural way forward. I would also recommend adding more detailing to these areas. Crates, fortifications, anything like that, so it's less than just a flat floor. Whoa. There are so many guards here in this area. I need to turn down my game volume, I just realized. Let's turn it down about this. Hope that's better. We'll see. Whoa. So I'm gonna just go like this. One guy's shooting at me, and I just want to see how loud it is. I think it'll be okay now. As you well know, the audio is something that this channel often well, I wouldn't say often struggles with, but it's something I just want to get right. That's all. Am I getting flanked? Yes, I am. Hey there, sir. Wow, there are enemies around every corner here. Well, this is a truly large facility, but the problem is there's not necessarily enough detail in all these areas. See, there's lots of open spaces. I do appreciate the use of, this looks to be, is this modular painting? It's a bit hard to tell with the flashlight. I don't think it is. I think it looks green to me, but it's a bit hard to tell. I think it is green. Yeah, it's got to be green. So I do appreciate the use of modular painting, but it doesn't really make up for detail all the time. It's there to supplement good detailing. That's how you'll have a truly immersive interior, but if you just rely on painting too much, it can kind of take you out of it. So you've got some detail, just kind of spread this around the whole room. Now I wonder if this is a statue of their king. They talked about how the defenders of Nanca have a king, and speaking of the defenders of Nanca, probably going to be more around this door. See if they're guarding any evidence for me. Whoa. That's not what I was expecting. Facility have we been bombing this facility too? I thought this one was being spared because it was supposed to be just importing food. Are we outside the facility again? I think it might I think we're going along the outskirts of the facility now. Oh, great. This is basically a death sentence if you get hit with one of those plasma swords. So the moral of the story is don't get hit with a plasma sword. That guy was hard to spot. I really like this set piece of the destroyed street and city. That's no complaints there about anything. Let's keep going. Thankfully, this map is not stingy with its healing resources, which I really appreciate, considering the sheer number of enemies it throws at you. Lots of different angles and dimension to this map. Really, the trick is to make the player think they're in a larger play space than they actually are, and you've done a good job of that so far. You've got the straight modulars as well as the angled ones. You've got towers and things off in the background. These doors are locked. Is there a key that I need to pick up somewhere? If we're gonna have a key puzzle here, I hope it's not too painful. Maybe we're supposed to like platform onto here. Is that the idea? Now that would be interesting. That's something I haven't seen in a map in a while. Let me get up here. I'm gonna go up here. Just see if this is the way to go. It certainly doesn't telegraph if that's really what you're supposed to do. It doesn't telegraph that at all. Okay, maybe it's not what you're supposed to do. But these doors are locked. Am I supposed to shoot them down? Evidently not. I think I actually need a key. But it's hard to tell. Key puzzles, unfortunately, can kind of stop the momentum of your map. But now that I know where to look, there's probably not too many places it could be. Let's keep an eye. We're going to go around the right here. I did not clear the right, so maybe... I guess... What's the point of this right area then? Maybe this is the right way. Okay, interesting. So that whole area up there was not needed then. I guess that was just a resupply point. This is the real path of the map. Okay. This map is quite winding, that's for sure. Okay, let's keep going. The light can also be a bit too bright in some spaces. I would tone this down. I would tone this down a little bit. It's a bit harsh. It doesn't need to be this neon color. You could turn it down a little bit and still have a nice atmosphere. Okay, got a map of the facility here. Any clues? Any evidence? Doesn't seem to be evidence. We're gonna look for anything that could be considered as such. Guess who's getting flanked now, Buster? Very nice. This has got to be evidence, right? Surely. Surely there's some sort of evidence. Oh, maybe not. It'll be somewhere. We need to find out what they're using this facility for. And pronto. Are we supposed to jump in here? I don't think so. I want to, but I don't think I'm supposed to. That looks like a teleporter from Good of the Company, but I think I've just conditioned myself to jump into blue flames when generally not a great idea. Oh, is this the end? Have we cleared the first stages of the facility? I think we might have. Let's touch this flag here, and that's the end. Okay, so it is a reach point map, and I'm realizing that because this is a reach point map, rather than using a non-game mode with a trigger to end the battle, and there's probably no scripting here. So, to be honest, I didn't even really notice. I didn't really notice at all. Scripting, of course, elevates your map, but this is as far as a non-scripted campaign goes. I think you're well on your way to having a very immersive experience already. Anyway, let's get deeper into the facility here. You've made your way deep into the facility and found evidence that it's bringing in troops and military supplies. Your mission, however, is not over yet. Enemy forces are moving in to capture or more likely kill you. Fight your way to the dropship so that you can be extracted. Okay. I certainly will. We're going to get our way back out of this facility before the enemy converges on our position. Very interesting. So, I'm not even sure if we're fighting on the right side here, because we're the attackers and Nanca is the defenders, apparently. They're under siege, and we are raiding into their facility and their city, so, oh well. I think we're supposed to go this way? No, we're probably supposed to go back the way we came, if I had to guess. Because there's a whole barricade there, so let's turn things around. Yeah, let's do that. Yep, we are. Okay, so here comes the counterattack. That's a fair few already. We've got three of them. Any more? Oh yeah, there's a couple more. I kind of like how they mix the futuristic and the medieval look, because they have the medieval helmets, but also modern and futuristic guns. Ooh, the RSX is a classic gun, but I'm not thinking it has the DPS for me right now. I'm going to be facing a lot of enemies here in a very short span of time, and I need to be able to overwhelm them with sheer damage output. I'm not sure that gun's going to be the gun for the job. Let's take this stairway out. I didn't take it down here, I don't think. Or maybe I did. I think I did. Whoa! That is a ton of enemies. I like how they converge on my position. I'm not sure if that's using scripting or not, but either way, it's well executed. Now, if you had scripting, you would have some kind of musical cue, like a sting or like a drop at that moment, as the player's heart sinks, realizing just how many enemies there are out there. There's certainly a lot of ways scripting could make this map more immersive, but I'm not going to judge it in that context. I'm going to judge it on its own merits. There's a lot of guys providing fire support up there. I'm going to run back down. I'm glad we have this medical crate so close to heal up. And I'm also glad that it's not actually up there, because then we could camp it, and the enemy would stand, or we would stand, yeah, the enemy would stand no chance, because we could camp the medical crate and pick them off quite easily. But when we have to actually retreat back downstairs, it gives them time to advance up to my position and deal with me. Which, I approve of that design strategy, not allowing the player infinite resources, especially not during a combat encounter. You have to kind of disengage a bit in order to heal up. But yeah, I guess we're essentially just retracing our steps, which is an interesting choice, but I suppose that's why I put it in the campaign, so we can have different enemy placements at different spots throughout the level. I just took a huge amount of damage there. Okay, now this is a fairly excessive run back, actually. Back from there to down here to get the medical crate, but I'm not complaining. Let's go through here. I'm willing to make this run back. I am. So yeah, my prevailing feedback at this point is definitely going to be to tone down the light. You don't ever, and this goes for anybody, you don't need this bright of a light because it's just too neon. That kind of light's not really going to be in real life, except if there was a nuclear explosion, I think. It's just about reserved for the absolute strongest of explosions, not really for like alarm lights. Or maybe that's supposed to be fire? It's a bit hard to tell even. But if it is supposed to be fire, I would make it a slightly dimmer orange. Still, you know, bright, but probably not maximum intensity if that's what you have right now. And if it's supposed to be an alarm, then again, just tone down the intensity, but keep the color. Let's keep going. Is that a spaceship? I think it is. Wow. So yeah, again, the dimensionality in this map is quite nice. There's a lot of set pieces in the background that we're never going to see, or we're never going to see up close. But they definitely add to the size and the scale of things. These set pieces. And of course that effect would be enhanced if you added in sounds like wind and music, stuff like that. But really again, it's not necessary if you don't want to have that. I grab this medical crate. Now I'm probably going to add in music myself, so if you've been hearing it throughout the video, that's just because I've decided to go back to adding in music to maps where there is none, just because I think it kind of adds something to the viewing experience. And you know, if you want to make a map that has no music, you know, it doesn't affect the playing experience or anything for me, but just to make it a slightly more interesting video for you. And certainly I've had people support my content when there's been no music. I haven't been making music in my video for some time now. If people want me to go back to the previous strategy of just no background sound, well, I can do that too. I'm just going to be experimenting with what I think is going to be good for this channel. So I think some background music, usually from Kevin MacLeod, but perhaps some other sources too, could do these videos some good. Anyway, we're going to move forward now to what looks to be some kind of a reactor. Looks very interesting. We have not been here before. And again, this light is a little bit too garish for me. It's a little bit too intense. Holy cow. Yeah, I just got absolutely wiped out. So in places like that, I almost have to feel like there's too many units. Or at least the units are placed in areas that are a bit unfair. Like, I had no time to run back and react to that guy when he just ran out around the corner, and I was a little bit too far from any cover or any doorway. Next time I know it'll be there, so I don't think I'll die to that next time. But it's still kind of a cheap death, sadly, especially because I did so much running back and forth to the medical crate to stay alive. I was fighting like 15 enemies, and I stayed alive, but one guy got me because of his placement. And that goes to show how important the placement of enemies in these maps are. Just one cheap death can really make people super mad and rage quit. Now, I'm not going to rage quit. I'm going to play every map I play out to completion if I can. But just want to let you know, for the general traction and feel of your map, you're going to want to be careful placing units directly around corners. These corner fights are often the most derided part of interior combat, having to kind of like sneak and kind of even cheese enemies around the corner because you can't really deal with them in a straight fight. Look at how much incoming fire there is. That is truly impressive how many guys they have stacked together. There's probably a few too many enemies in these maps. I have to admit, there's probably just a few too many. Just a few too many to be fair, but keep fighting them all. I would have given the player maybe 750 health, or even a little bit more than that, maybe even up to 1,000, considering the sheer number of enemies here. And also, you have to take into account the plasma sword, which applies a fire effect to anybody it damages, and the fire effect is often a death sentence immediately if you've been hit with it once. It'll just add damage over time, and you'll find yourself dead much sooner than you would like. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so much bullets. So much bullets. Wow. I need to back that up. I'm just going to rewind a little bit. There's so many bullets coming in when you have that many units on the playing field. So you have to give the player tools in order to deal with that. So things like cover, healing resources, anything like that. It's going to be very much appreciated. I am grateful that you gave me a medical crate, but it's definitely not in the most convenient of spots. I have to do a pretty long run back to do this back and forth shimmy to get to engage these enemies up here. But as far as actually the actual design, and in many encounters, the way the enemies use the design, you have that down pat. But there's just a few spots where there's either too many enemies, or they're placed in these almost cheap-feeling areas. But if you sort of got rid of that part of it, you have a really nice, polished raid battle here. Now I'm not frustrated by this map. There's maps that do frustrate me. For instance, sometimes when you have these really angular fights coupled with a randomizer effect or like a key puzzle, which unfortunately I often find in XXXX's maps. You have to give some sort of mechanic for you to deal with that frustration. He did that by adding a super hot effect. In this map, I would do that by giving the player more health and cover to use, because the enemy certainly has plenty of cover, despite being a little bit weaker than the player. So I'm not even sure if these are optional areas. Like, do I even need to be clearing the side areas? Sort of a lack of direction in some spots here. I'm not even sure if I needed to clear those areas. It might have just been a slap in the face, like, go down this way if you want to lower your health a bit before you go to the final engagement. Those guys obviously had to clear. They were coming around to flank me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Medical crate. Please, please, please. I'm really glad these guys aren't too tanky, considering how many there are. Yeah, you do have some nice detailing. I would just add more of it. Essentially crank that up to 11. You're certainly on the right track for detailing. You're using all the necessary tools, but don't hold back, because it's not affecting my performance or anything. Just add more of those kind of statue areas, use different types of decoration and detail, more modular painting, all that stuff. Player's not going to hate you for it until it starts to affect their FPS. They're actually going to love you for it. The more immersed they feel, the better. Let's keep moving. I like these choices like this too. The blank window frame with the 45-degree modular is a nice effect too. I haven't seen that kind of thing be used before. Lots of never before seen techniques. Okay, we're almost to the end here. We're almost to the end. We need to get to the dropship so we can extract ourselves. Now that we have word that this is being used to supply military supplies to Nanca, it gives us authorization to destroy this place, obliterate it. But before we can do that, we have to escape. That must be our dropship, I can only assume. For sure I was going to get flanked there. And I like being able to see places I've already been from a different angle. That's just something that I've always really, really loved about Age of Warfare 3. Yeah, it's so cool. You can revisit areas of the battlefield in new perspectives, from new perspectives. So I guess we're just going to hop in this dropship and escape. Here we go. And we're done. Alright, well, that was the raid in Nanca, everybody. Let me load that back up in my campaign menu and I can give my concluding thoughts. I certainly do think it's a refreshing technique to use the campaign menu to just tell essentially a larger battle rather than a full narrative raid in Nanca, because making a whole narrative, while that's certainly cool, and I've done it myself and I really approve of that use as well, using Ancient Warfare 3 as more of a game engine, being able to use this campaign menu to just tell a slightly larger battle is perfectly acceptable use as well, actually. So, yeah, that was the raid in Nanca. Definitely did enjoy my time with it. I had various pieces of feedback I gave throughout. Essentially, add some more detail, tone down on the lights, give the player a few more methods to deal with the sheer number of enemies, and that'll be your golden trio. Definitely worthy an upvote from me. Definitely worth it if you're interested in playing a sort of interior raid map. And I hope that Turtle continues to make more maps, because I think this is the first one he's made in some time. That's about all I have to say for this video, everybody. I'll be continuing to make content going forward in the following days on a regular basis. If you'd like to support my content, I would certainly very much appreciate that. To do that, you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to be notified when I make content in Ancient Warfare 3 for you to play, you can follow my Steam Workshop, which will be linked in the description of this video. So thanks again for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next piece of content, which I'm guessing will be a video, but I do also have a few live streams planned, so I hope to see some of you there. That's it. See ya.